Welcome to the last Raw Talk of the year before moving over to Netflix. Two links, as always, down below. One for the full video recap. That's what you get, by the way, if you give the video a thumbs down. You're off the hook for a New Year's little gift. You don't need to worry about Solo Sikoa's Sikoan spike in the derriere. Ain't got to worry about that. So, here we go. New Day came out once again to some Dirty Dom like styled booze. I don't get it. Like, what's going on with them coming out, not really saying much. I'm waiting for that build up and I'm not feeling it. There was definitely no yeet until my man Jey Uso came out. And then he said that the New Day sucks. And then basically New Day left. There was no drama, nothing of that sort, at least not from New Day, until Drew McIntyre came out. Cheap shot at Jey Uso, little back and forth, and then you know where it goes from there. Officials come out, they break it up temporarily, and then that's it. Once Raw moves to the flicks, they seriously have to up their security and their officials in the back. I'm not saying everybody's got to be built like Drew McIntyre, but for God's sakes, man. This was, there's the beatdown right there. This was a nice match. Chad Gable versus Otis. This was definitely, for me, entertaining. Gable with that deadlift German suplex, for me, was just like unbelievable. Because when you take a close look at it, you can actually see the lack of Otis really springing into it, like to help out Chad. That was like some goosey ass shit. 350-pound deadlift German suplex. I'm telling you, Chad Gable might be a small dude, but he's built like a shit brick house and probably twice as strong as Otis. He's he's like a mini Cesaro. Really. Anyhow, really liked it. But again, the whole Ivy Niles distraction leading to Gable tapping out Otis. I get it. He's a heel, okay? I'm just saying, look at Gunther. Exactly. Cheap victory. Nonetheless, the whole thing was entertaining. Further dissension, again, between Finn and the Judgment Day. I almost said between Finn and JD, as in JD McNugget, but no, as in Judgment Day. Liv wasn't there, but Finn did have a bit of a chat with Raquel Rodriguez. Again, I know I keep saying it, that I'm invested in to really just find out like where the shit's going on. This was a wasted opportunity. Butch really is a little bitch. He's not Pete Dunne. He's dirty bitch. And what happened there is R-Truth came out and bitch cheap shotted him from behind, and the match never even started. Never even started. Women's Intercontinental Tournament. Okay? What happened? Oh. So what, they just forgot it? They don't even put a picture up. They could have at least put a picture up. But it says, and I quote, well, never mind what it says. Dakota Kai won against Zoe Stark to advance to the Women's Intercontinental Tournament Championship. And yeah, I got mixed feelings on that. Weird finisher from Dakota, by the way, that weird Pele kick thing. I don't know. It's just, for me, it's weird. I think I would have put Zoe Stark over Dakota, but I have to admit something happened in the last few months and Dakota Kai's on a different level. She's actually really good. Much better than I thought before. I used to find her just awkward and just awkward. Didn't find her awkward this week or the last week or all the other times I've seen her fight. Then it's going to be left, which we'll discuss in a moment, Lyra Valkyria versus Io Sky. Winner of that faces Dakota. I was saying Io needs to win, but exactly. We know what happens later on there. 6-man tag was actually really nice. A lot of back and forth. Very smooth. Dirty Dom, JD, and Finn with Carlito on the outside, who had the yellow apple smacked out of his mouth by Eric, the War Raiders, when they faced Damien and the War Raiders. New music for Judgment Day. Carlito trying to distract. Yeah, I've already said that. Again, I was like, oh, where's Jey Uso? But it was like full out mayhem. Damian Priest ends up picking up the win, so this was really nice. Ludwig Kaiser with a self-promoting in-ring promo. calls out Braun Breaker, but instead Sheamus came out and they had a little bit of a back and forth and poking each other in the eyeballs and whatnot. Sheamus had been gone since Survivor Series. Now this I'm not happy with. She's probably going to take the whole goddamn thing. Yeah. Io loses to Lyra. I'm not saying it can't happen. Remember, I know this is scripted. I'm just saying. Now it's going to be Lyra Valkyria versus Dakota. Well, in that case, I'm like, I hope it's Dakota. You might be thinking, what's with all the hate with Lyra? There's just something about her. I'm just not jiving with it. I'm on board with Io. I would have been fine with Zoe Stark. Honest to God, Zoe Stark. Don't, okay? I'm telling you. Io Scott, Dakota is actually doing really good. And if you look at all the other women that were in that whole thing, that were a part of the tournament, yeah, Io was my number one pick straight up. Like, she's just so good. Now, Dakota, Kai, and, well, Zoe's out. But just to say, of the two that I was picking, they've never won NXT Championship. Does that mean anything? I don't know. Whereas Lyra Valkyria is a former NXT champion. Is that going to play a part in who they're going to dub the very first women's intercontinental champion? I don't know. I'm just being blunt. Io. Dakota was like number 2, close with Zoe Stark. Whatever. I'll get over it. It's really not the end of the world. At least we have Chelsea Green as the women's U.S. champ. Which is what I was hoping was going to happen. Yeah, that's right. Now I'm going to start trash talking the dudes. CM Punk and Seth Rollins with their in-ring promo. Seth just can't let go of the fact that CM Punk dragged down the company for a decade, abandoned it, then comes back, and then, hey, look, everything is great. Seth calls Punk a cancer in the locker room, this, that, and the other thing. No, actually, Seth's hatred for Punk is the cancer. It really is. CM Punk now was talking about how the person running the show was different, which is true. And for him, that made a very big difference. Mentally, he's in a different place. Just a whole thing. Like, I just don't understand it. I really, really don't. One of the best feuds of the year for me was by far CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. This is coming out of a place that shouldn't have that much fuel. It should have ran out by now, bone dry. Really, it should have fossilized by now. I don't know if gas can really... Okay, that's not the point. I just don't get it. I could see, in the beginning, like, he's been back for a year already. CM Punk's been back for a year. A whole year. In the very, very, very beginning, had this been Seth Rollins' very first promo, which I know he had already been candid about how he felt about CM Punk, it would have made a lot more sense. How dare you leave? You just come back. You think you're just going to walk in here and, just start running the place and taking over? I don't think so, pal. I've been here holding it down for a decade while you took your ball and chain and fucking ran off to the competition. Great promo for that. It's been a year in. Okay? Year in. He's held no titles. He's happy. It's reported legitimately that he is actually very nice. He's calm. He's not a wild card like they tried to portray him in AEW. He's actually a really good guy, like legit in the back. At this point, if anything, shortly after this feud, which should have happened a year ago, he should have been like, you know what? You've come a long way, and I got to admit, like, I was wrong. I thought you were going to come back here and just whatever, and you didn't. Now, if he were to do that and grow respect for CM Punk, I'm thinking to myself, like, too little, too late. The way he spoke with the conviction in his voice of all that pent-up frustration and anger, even though, like, it's believable, as in, like, from a facial expression, body language, acting perspective, I'm still not fucking buying it at all, this feud. I just don't get how, if this was a real life situation, you would be that hell-bent after all these months. I don't, again, in the beginning, oh, what the hell, man? Who do you think you are? Then you talk it out, you wrestle, guy sticks around for a while, maybe somebody jumps him, you come in to help him. You're like, you know what, I was wrong about you, and I'm sorry. I want to apologize, and then they bury the hatchet, and boom. Okay, I could be wrong, but the bloodline thing with Jay, and I just hope it's coming to a close, and then we're gonna go on to the next chapter. I don't know what's going on. Like Roman Reigns has been back for a while now. What's going on with his rematch? Remember, he wanted to go after Cody. Then The Rock comes out. I forget at what PLE. There's been so many lately. I've been watching so many shows. He came out at one and went like this, or he did something with his fingers, and then he just left, never to be heard of again. Never, yeah. And I'm just like, in closing, because my video is a little bit shorter than usual. That's good. That's your New Year's gift. I forgot what I was going to say now. No, I didn't. Sucks to be you. Allegedly, Raw is going to be 3. I almost said 3 years. 3 hours on Netflix. I cannot wait. Like the next time I record, it's going to be SmackDown, but it's going to be a 3-hour SmackDown. It's going to be interesting to see if more talent, not quite up top S tier, get brought up and showcased a little bit more with that extra hour. And then, of course, the whole Netflix thing, even though it's going to have the same rating, apparently they're not going to be as strict on time. They're going to be a little bit like looser. Things don't have to end like right on, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, we got to go. Oh, a major event. Too bad. See you later. Apparently they can run it an extra minute or two if there's something going on. It could be a little bit more organic that way. And even though it's going to have the same rating, it is going to be allegedly, like in terms of the content and the rating, it's going to supposedly feel a little bit, maybe edgy is not the right word, but just a little bit more mature and adult-like. And that's the part I have to admit I'm excited for. Not that this has been bad lately, but okay. And so, yeah, so Raw's leaving the USA Network, and SmackDown is remaining. Yeah, retaining their USA contract. Whatever. See what happens when I'm not reading a script and I'm just like talking shit out of my mouth like this? All right, that's enough. Thumbs up as always if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. You didn't like it, that's fine. I already told you what was going to happen this time. Actually, you know what? I lied. In the beginning, I said you were where was that clothesline? It was somewhere. Yeah, I said you were going to get something like that. Can't remember who I showed you earlier. Doesn't matter. This is what you're getting. If you give it a thumbs down, you get that thumb in your eyeball socket. And if you want to subscribe, I mean, naturally, that would be great. But if not, trust me, I totally get it. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Again, I almost said Merry New Year. Whatever. May your New Year be merry. And if I'm lucky, I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.